Bare bones, they could get this and dish soap and be done.
And like two brushes.
Right?
Yeah.
2 brushes.
Yeah.
So maybe throw some of the brushes in there.
Yep.
In that shot, and then
you want to have, this is like the only, like, everyone far and wide when you like Google and want to watch like Suminagashi videos, they all have this very same set. So it's like
so
the
that's
one
it.
and only. It's like $11.50 on Amazon, and it's great. It lasts forever. I have only bought one set over the years, and like I said, I have done this I don't know how many times, like with hundreds of prints. So you can also, there are certain calligraphy inks that will work too. You just have to try them out. I'm not sure what the defining factor is of whether or not it floats or not, but anyway, if you just try it and it floats, then great, you can do it. So which is kind of nice. If you have some black ink, you can at least just do kind of the tree ring look, without having to get a whole set, because that's really cool. This is all the inks, and in the middle, that is water with a little bit of dish soap. So it's because it is a surfactant, which means it like pushes things away. Like if you've ever dropped dish soap in grease and you just watch the grease go out, because you want your so this is basically like if you want white or spaces between your colors without adding colors. So so you'll want to also just kind of get your brushes wet first. And unfortunately, if you are, so let's say I'm going to do warm colors. So you want to make sure if you do it that you have a pointy brushes, like your regular kind of craft brushes that are blunt on the end. They'll just kind of dump too much ink in there at the same time. So calligraphy brushes are great, or I think you have like some of those bamboo brushes.
Yes, I do.
I've got some of those, but can do this too. You can just drag, and you'll want to do this between. You can drag across the top of your with your pan of water to clean it off, and then we're probably going to do that between prints as well, because you'll have little bits of ink that are left over. And but then you kind of, after you do that, you have to wait till things settle, because just even the subtlest movement of water will affect your ink print. But it's also like if you don't mind, you don't mind. So I'll just do one. I'll just start with a black white one, just for simplicity to start with. Okay, so like I said, this is like if you do about a half a cup of water with 3 drops of dish soap, then that is good. And if it's better to start with less, because it's amazing. It'll just shoot your ink across. So start with less,
and then you split those out into all of these.
Well, I just figured this is about 1/8 of a cup, so I did about a drop.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's like
It's a technical term.
Yeah, technical. Yeah. So I'm going to do black, and you want to load it up like nice and full. But you want to, when you pick it up, like if it has a drop coming off, you want to wipe that off, because you don't want it actually to be like bloop dropping, because it's so heavy that it'll just sink to the bottom of your pan. And then this, like I said, and this is when I hope that I have not had too much coffee.
Yeah.
So you just are barely touched. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I would do
Okay,
that.
so it'll make a little dot, and then
Wow.
seriously, I'm really not that caffeinated. I think I'm just.
Shut up. Wow.
So the longer you hold it, the more ink it puts in there. And so you see how you could just get in a rhythm.
Oh, that is insane.
Isn't that fun? So you can just
Video
go.
of this too. No. Can I take it? I'll help you.
Yeah. Wow.
This is why like the clear is better, because you can see what's going on. I'm
Totally.
just gonna stay in the middle there. And like I said, you can hold it. But it is interesting how sometimes, like even see my breathing and just is causing it to kind of, which is totally fine. Like
Your breathing, isn't it? I mean, that's amazing. This is
Okay.
beautiful.
So we'll just do this for starters. But yeah, you can really get in a groove, and it gets fun like once you get the hang of it. But see how I'm just touching the top of the.
Yeah.
once you push, like if you push it down, and it's okay, sometimes some of it will sink to the bottom. So we'll start with that. And so then you want to just lay it gently, and it's going to start curling up. You kind of, if you put it down like this, then you're less likely to get air bubbles underneath it. Kind of,
You're less like.
you're less likely. But if you go like this, you don't get a trap.
Push your ink. So you want it.
Yeah. So if you kind of bend it going
Mildly
down, but the second it hits the water, then these edges want to start. See how they're curling up?
Mm-hmm.
So then you can, I let it sit there for just a second. And this is one of those things where everybody on the internet says something different.
Okay.
Some people say sit for 15 seconds, and some people are just like,
Okay.
so, and then you just
Stop.
lift it up.
Oh, that is
So
insane.
Then you set it over here, and then you want to rinse it off, obviously the extra, and it's not going to be quite as intense. So that's just black and white, which, so I mean, it doesn't lose too much of the vibrancy. And then you just kind of want to, like at this point I can dab it and like nothing's coming off.
Oh, wow.
So you just want to make sure that there's nowhere that it's pooling up really bad. And then I did bring craft paper that we can, but your water is going to start to get dirty, and it doesn't matter because most of it is just sinking to the bottom.
Okay.
So I'll do so I am going to kind of just drag this, and I feel like this is the sloppy part, Courtney, so I don't want to.
Please.
Okay.
Do whatever, and I can get more
Everything
paper
is-
towel or whatever. you
Okay,
need.
so you ideally, maybe we could take some of your trash paper and just cut strips, because if you just drag it a strip of paper across, then it just kind of picks up all of the rest of it.
Sure.
Okay, so that was with the surfactant and the.
Would this work that we cut off the edges, or is that too small?
Oh yeah, that would
Okay.
be great.
That was a great report.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's to clean up. So you want to make sure that your brushes they don't have to be completely dry, but just, that they're not saturated, because otherwise then you put a lot of water into your ink and then you're constantly diluting your ink. So just wipe them off. And then I think you all have like a couple big brushes and a couple small brushes. So sometimes, like with that black, you immediately saw a circle. Sometimes it shoots out and you don't see a precise circle, but it's there. So you just have to trust that the ink is there. I think I'm gonna do, and I don't know why, I think it's really fun, like in that blue one, to have like, seriously, I don't know. So you see how that was so subtle?
So you don't have, do you have soap on any of those?
No.
Okay, this is just inks.
Just inks. If you are struggling, like if you
Might be
have
too
an
dark,
ink,
but
sometimes they just sit there. Like this orange is not, see how it's not really spreading at all?
Yeah.
If you add the tiniest bit of, and see how strong this guy like pushes everything really hard. It's like a struggle of like power between the colors. I feel like so if I can hold that orange longer to give it more of like a bigger pull, and then if you're really having a hard time with an ink like not spreading like at all, you can add like touch the tip of your this is where the Japanese guy would just have it all. It's so cool to watch. It's like
The spreader is that.
so these inks have they just spread on their own, and I'm being like sparing with this light pink guy because he's so. I just realized I personify everything. Even in my paintings, I like call them meal boxes. And so every now and then, like if you feel like I'm not having a lot, you can come back and get. And I did bring a bigger pan, because it's nice if you do it in a bigger pan. It's fun because you can then kind of choose your like which part of your design, like you can let it go, and so see how I had a little much and it's sinking to the bottom, but that's no big deal. It doesn't.
Wow.
You just.
So that light pink is that other type of ink, and the other
Yeah,
ones are the
and
Suminagashi ink.
it's like must have more of like a surfactant. quality to it because it's just pushing everybody around.
Will I be able to sneak a pic before you do the paper, or do you have to do
Sure,
it quick? Okay.
no. You can let it sit there like in these demos, they sit there and talk and
Okay.
it's like sitting on top of it. And I think I got my brushes, my orange and my red, because I was like, I have no red anymore.
What would happen if you did something here now?
Oh,
Could you,
yeah, let's
like,
do
can
that.
you do a second
You
thing?
can,
Oh, okay.
totally.
That was
And
my
it's-
next question. Like, how do you know when you're like done? How do you know
It's-
when you're ready to like
Yep.
put the paper on? Just whenever you feel like it.
Yeah. In my house, I did it on the middle level, and every time somebody would come walking through, it would start to. Yeah, and some people really like to like jag it up. Like they'll blow it around, or it's so kind of susceptible that like a toothpick really messes. Like, so honestly, like a hair is. They also will do it with a straw. Yeah, did you get a picture already?
Yes.
And then, like I said, if you just barely, and then push it.
The roll is so cool. Oh, you didn't even have to wait. You just
Wow.
went for it.
Maybe that's, yeah.
You just went for that.
You see how there was just a teeny bit of the black ink, which I actually think is really cool around the edges. So,
That is really cool.
so anyway, you can keep going with the same water, or you
Oh,
can,
huge.
you can at any time, dump it out and, like if you feel like I really don't want anything else in this water, I want to make sure that I don't have any extra stuff. You want to